hasn't seen me before, if you haven't, I'm Kari, and here I am. Let's start. So thank you. Being here is a good thing today.
Yes.
Let's just start by relaxing on our bodies and getting rid of any tension that you're bringing in. I want you to think about one thing that you're hanging on to from today. One thing that just is nagging you from the day, and I want you to compartmentalize that into a briefcase. As you're moving around, I want you to think about taking that briefcase in front of you and visualize it right here. Put all the thoughts that you've got about that thing into that briefcase. And I want you to visualize neatly placing it by the door where you will pick it up if you're If you don't need what was there, by all means throw it in the trash. Okay, I cannot do that today, so just move your bodies around. And then I want you to go ahead and take your chin down. And then very slowly, I want you to picture that somebody's behind you, picking you up from the waist. And I want you to take that spine and roll it down one vertebrae at a time, taking from the top down. So do this on an exhale. Go ahead, all the way to the ground. Halfway down, you might want to pause, inhale, and then on your exhale, finish that off. While you're down there, I want you to take the time to take a few long breaths down there, moving your body at the bottom there. Find the spots that are tense for you, and just take an extra second and really focus on releasing that tension. Singing is about that relaxation. It's about starting from a lack of inhibitions, and we start those inhibitions in our body. So moving your hips back and forth, carry a lot of tension in our hips. Let's get rid of that. Okay, keeping your knees flexed during this. This is not a straight leg exercise. Okay, exhale, come back to the middle. Inhale in. And on that exhale, you're unrolling that spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, stacking it up and really focusing on the slowness and on that sensation that someone's picking you up from the waist, keeping the knees flexed as you go. Keep your shoulders rounded and your head down. Exhale out, inhale in. And on that final exhale, you're going to roll the rest of the spine up, roll the shoulders back, and then drop them down into a relaxed and neutral place. And make sure that your head is neutral and spaced evenly between your shoulders. Move around. Now I want you to think in your body right now, find one spot that feels particularly tense. Okay? I'm going to have you roll down a little more quickly this time, and I want you to focus on that one spot on the way down. Exhale, inhale in. On your exhale, tuck your chin, roll down. Here we go, all the way down. Keeping your knees flexed, come all the way to the bottom. Monkey arms on the bottom, roll back and forth. Exhale your old air out. Inhale one big breath down there. Exhale that out. Inhale in, and this time we're going to roll up. On the exhale, stacking the vertebrae one by one, pulling yourself upwards all the way, really focusing on that one particular spot you found for yourself, wherever that means you have to slow down. You take that time. Monkey arms pull in front here. Exhale out. Inhale in. Stacking the rest of the vertebrae one on top of another. Focus that chin, roll the shoulders back and drop. Okay, excellent job. Okay, so just a reminder of what we talked about last time I was here. We talked about the esophagus versus the trachea. Can anybody recollect what we talked about with those two anatomy pieces?
Where they are.
And tell me about that.
If you sing the tendons in the back of your throat, then you're going to sound muffled.
It being the esophagus or the trachea? The trachea, good, because that's our breathing pipe, right? Cool, cool. Anything else you guys remember about that?
It's at the front.
What's that?
It's at the front.
It's at the front, right? So it's right here, so run your fingers down. The cool thing about the trachea is that it's got a bunch of cartilage rings around it that keeps it open all the time. You can feel those if you rub in here. So that kind of helps you remember which one's in front. So just go ahead and take and remind yourself to keep your hips nice and neutral. Your knees are relaxed. Okay? Take a deep breath, and I want you to sense breathing into that space. Right through it. Nice deep breaths again. Excellent. Now I want you to notice, do you tense when you take that breath? So put your fingers here for a second. Notice what happens. Do you feel this get tight when you take a breath? If you do, see if you can relax them. Sometimes it helps move your head like this. As you can imagine, this is one of the more critical parts. Moving on, let's do the volcano again. So I want you to, again, close your eyes, and this time visualize down into your lower abdomen, into that kind of stomach space, right above your pelvis. So I want you to think about having a space about 8 inches high, and that's a roiling volcano. It's hot, it's got lots of energy, lots of bubbliness. Okay? There's a tube, a beautiful, slick tube that comes straight up out of there, goes all the way up your throat. Now, envision this tube through this volcano. Take another breath through that tube. And notice how the air tends to get a little bit stuck when it gets to that back of the throat. I want you to picture having a flip-top head and take the top part of your jaw, so the part that is your upper teeth, your hard palate, flip your head back so that it's flat and that becomes vertical to the ground. Take the bottom jaw and the front of your throat, keeping your knees relaxed and neutral, and I want you to visualize this becoming 2 walls. In the front of the wall is your tongue, with the tip touching your bottom front teeth, your bottom jaw. The back wall consists of your hard palate, your nose, your skull, and the back of your throat. And I want you to think of a press moving those 2 walls apart, nice and open. Take a couple of breaths, connecting that openness all the way down to that volcano. And I'm making mine audible so you can hear it, but yours should be relatively inaudible. Okay, now you're going to take your head and position it up on top without losing that space in the elbow of that pipe. So do make this shape right here, and I want you to visualize what does that feel like in the back of your mouth when you have that shape, breathing into that space. A couple of breaths there. Okay, so this time I'm going to have you take your hands like this. I want you to center them behind your ears into this space here. I don't want you to do this. I'm looking for this kind of a posture. So grab this space, grab the air behind here. And I want you to do through that open pipe. Here we go. Excellent. Can I have you do that again? And instead of a breath that sounds like this, I'd like you to have a breath that sounds like this. Okay, here we go. Excellent. Do that again. Shake out any spots that are tense again. Good. Counting through E. Keep that E instead of a E. Kind of make it a E. Here we go. Excellent. Excellent. Do it one more time. Good. One last element to that. I see this sound. Do you hear the structure in that? The tightness around the voice just a little bit, which keeps the freedom out of it. Change your bodies to have a little more motion. Hear the difference? Here we go. Excellent. You froze. That means that's your default, which means you're probably doing that in singing. One more time. So my observation is that probably 85% of you are freezing when you do that slide. Okay, that's your default. That means you're adding tension when you sing. If you find that you can't move while you do this exercise, it's you who's adding tension. Okay? This one more time. This time you are not allowed to stop at all, even if you have to move egregiously to remind yourself. Here we go. Excellent, excellent. That's better. There's something to work on at home. Let's do some humming.
Lumber.
Oh, actually, let's do ooh one more time. So let's do the same exercise with ooh. Again, and move your body. Here we go. Can you get that sound above the hard palate this time? So interesting. When you did ooh, you did this. Ooh, instead of ooh. Ooh, do you hear how that is above the hard palate? Ooh, it's below it in this neck area. Ooh, can you remember this forward area here? So take your hand, I want you to do your ooh into this hand. Excellent, that may mean that you go kind of rough through your break. That's okay right now, that's not what we're working on, so I'm good with that. Okay, let's do, take your middle of your range, and I want you to picture that you've got a rubber sandwich about this big. It's a nice squishy rubber, it's not a hard rubber. And I want you to think about chewing that. Okay, so visualize your big, actually make it a burger, a rubber burger. Okay, Okay, and it's that squishy kind of rubber that's actually almost pleasant to squish, okay? I want you to do good. Now, when you're doing this, what I hear you doing a little bit is this. Okay, what do you notice in me when I do that? It's back here. What else?
Tension.
So there's tension. Do you guys notice the resonance, where the resonance is ending? Okay, so is not singing, that's talking. That's using our talking resonant spaces. Instead, I want to use your singing resonant spaces. Here's the difference with this. Do you hear how that is accessing this area? This should get tingly. Now you please. Better. Keep the space between the teeth. Make sure the burger actually is going to, this burger you can't chew through because it's got rubber in it. So you're going to actually only go down to about that far. Okay, here we go again. Move your bodies at the same time. Now go up and down in your range of your own knee. And now side. Side higher, spacious and forward. Here we go again. That sounds like this to me. What I want is hear the difference? Now you. If you move your body one more time, please. Okay, take your fingers in front of your ears and find that cave. For those of you who may have missed the last time I was here, we talked about the caves in front of your ears. Find the cartilage, the hard part that sticks into your ear here. And just forward of that, there's a little soft depression. Take your jaw and open it slowly so that you notice when that depression gets a little bit squishy. Okay? Now, for kicks, I want you to open it all the way so that you can see what too wide is like. You can see that's not what we're looking for. We're looking at the point where it becomes kind of a soft, relaxed tissue. Okay? Right here. Okay? So I may tell you to find your caves throughout rehearsal tonight. That means that we're going to get the mouth back open into this space. Let's do new. Now you. Okay, I hear new. And I want new. That's good. It wasn't quite what you had going on earlier. What I heard again was new. That's a lot of this muscle. You hear that muscle in there? New. A lot of tightness. It's a lot of tightness here. New. What I want is space. Back to that burger, the rubber burger. New. Slow it down a little bit, please. Better take it down. Now this time I want you to move your body with it so that you can relax. Good. Let me change one paradigm for you. The exercise in this is not in being loud. So if you are trying to project your voice right now, it's not what we're working on, and that actually would be counterintuitive and counterproductive. So if you're going new, that's not what I want. I want space. We need to always start our volume with space, which is something we haven't done perfectly well so far, okay? So new concept, space first, then volume, okay? New, let's start there, new. Okay, relax. All booties become lifted and be still spacious. Good. Good job. And again, I want you to move your head at the same time. Your body moving in between. Correct with me, please. There you go. Correct with me again, please. I heard Hear the difference now, you. Good now. Remember, we're taking the elevator new, as opposed to new, new. Now, you might be compelled to go into a place where you're singing new, because it sounds like it's stronger. It sounds like your voice is more pointy, like it's gonna be more bold. But that's exactly what it's gonna be, and it's going to not help us with our ensemble sound. So right now, we're working on more of the softer, resonant sound. One more time. Over the elevator again. Just do the new part again. Careful, gentle. Think of it as positive air. Do that one again. Think of it being a cloud. It's on a cloud. Each time we're puffing the cloud up until the cloud pulls the sound up gently into the stratosphere. Here we go again. Keep your body moving. That's impressive.
Your dad can go lower.
My dad can go pretty low. What is that?
C sharp.
That's C sharp?
Yeah. Cool.
Cool, that is very impressive, guys. Excellent. Let's then move on. By the way, I really liked how you guys adapted that. Could you tell the difference with your ear between the beginning of when we were doing that exercise and the end? Could you hear the difference in the group? Yeah? I'd like you to start noticing that a little bit more. So one of the shifts I'd like you to make as a group is that you move away from waiting for the person up front to tell you what sounds different. Move towards the place where you're recognizing it as you go. Okay? And that's going to be something that you when you recognize something, you're in a group that recognizes that. You can feel it when you start to succeed, because everybody just starts to get a little bit more aware. They kind of go, oh yeah, that's better. Right? When you're in a group that is waiting for the director or the coach or whoever's up front to notice that, you don't get that sense, and so it just doesn't move forward quite so quickly. So let's make this a shift that we're starting to make this year. Notice for yourself what's going on. Let's just move on. I'm going to go right away, because last time we only had a couple of seconds for the wee exercise. So if everybody can just go to the restroom right now.
We
Oh my God, wait, or what? All right, the wee exercise. The wee exercise. Can I have leads please sing? We listen up note. Can you sing wee for me, please? Oh, let's relax that one and do that again. So please shake out your body. Okay, when I want you to sing, so when you're getting ready to sing, when the director's hands are up, you should already be vocally in posture. So you're checking yourself. You're saying, is my head lifted? Is my space for my tube, is it cramped at the elbow, or is it open? Am I in a lifted elbow position? Am I relaxed? So the difference then would be, Wee, now you. Excellent. We're just going to let that hang out. Find in your body where you have tension. Do it again. This shouldn't be manufactured. It shouldn't be E. It should be. Take a breath as you need to. Very nice. Please come in and match that exactly. Good. So I'll review the exercise. How many of you don't know the week? Did we do the week? Did we not do it last time? I'm sorry. I thought we did it last time. The exercise is this. You start with one vocal part. You start in singing lead. So the leads usually start as there is a model voice. That doesn't mean you're the perfect voice, by the way. It starts off with wee, and then the baritones. The baritones come in and match the texture and the color perfectly. So it shouldn't sound like there's another type of voice coming in. It should sound exactly as though just more of the same gently entered into the mix. We then add the tenors or basses. It doesn't really matter that we can fool around with which one it is. Let's say tenors come in. Same idea. We're matching the vocal quality. And making it sound like one voice at the end. Basses will always add a slightly different color to it, but still the idea is the same texture as well.
Same note?
Same note, same word. Once everyone is in, we all together say we 3 times. It'll look like this. Wee, wee, wee. And the goal is that every time you say the wee, you open up another space. You recognize in yourself where am I personally a little bit tight? Where is one of my spaces not there? Open it up further, open it up further. Okay, and then once everyone is there, if the director chooses that it's in a good enough position, you then do a scale down. Wee, 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 wee. And as you can imagine, you want the quality to be exactly the same at the top as it is on the bottom. Okay, a little bit more resonance on the bottom. With me so far? And then it's a peel off. So you've probably done the peel off exercise before. Same as usual, where the leads stay on the same note, the tenors will stay on the same note with them until the end, at which point they'll go wee wee. The baritones go wee wee wee. There you go. So wee 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 wee. So you go down 4 notes and you stay there for the rest of the exercise. It'll make sense when you get there. Basses, you go all the way down. All right. I know it's a lot of stuff, but this exercise can really help you with the ensemble very quickly. So let's give it a go. Please, that was beautiful. I would love you to do exactly that again, if not even better. Here we go. The idea, when you are hanging this note, it's the same rules as any other hanging note. Do you guys remember the rules I gave you about hanging notes? What do you do with it? What was that?
Skin up.
What is it?
You want to skin up all the time. You want to
Yep, keep them going up. What else have we talked about around hanging notes?
At retreat last year, you talked about watching them bounce around the back of the room.
Right, walk them around the edges of the room. So constantly moving the tone. So it never gets stiff, it never gets stuck. Excellent memory, by the way.
That one works for me, so I use that one.
It's a good one. That's a really good one. That's a Katie Brown one. Now I'll be watching you screw up. Okay, so moving them around the room and keeping it as like a pillow is underneath it, just constantly giving it a little puff of air, up, 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 okay? Here we go. Sorry, let's do it again. I may be a little bit stiff and direct, but I don't mean to. Okay, that's good. That's even better. Now I want you to add the space inside of that as well. Okay, so that was a great width down here, but what I really want is do you hear the difference? Here we go. Wait until that all sounds nice and one voice. Means you're adjusting as you go. If you feel that your voice is out of quality, you just take a breath and give yourself back in. Baritones add in, please. You just take breaths as you need to come right back in. Excellent job, baritones. That was beautiful. Another fun concept is keep just the soup pot spinning. I should be able to keep this note going for 5 minutes without it losing any quality or any energy. I won't make you do that, but bases in, bases out. Bases, get yourself ready. Relax into the higher part of the register. Same color, you match that. Relax notice that you took a different breath as soon as you got real and had to do an actual passage? Did you hear the breath that happened and hear the tightness that didn't the sound? So you just changed the way you thought your role as a singer from exercise to actually singing. Okay? There should be no differentiation. There should be no difference in how you sing as an exercise student versus how you sing in a song. Okay, so ponder that for yourself. That's another reason I like this exercise, is because it takes us from really focusing on a very small element, it builds into a slightly more complex element, slightly more complex until we're almost singing, right? And it shows us where's the point where I start to add in my own issues. Okay? So I'm going to leave that exercise with you for today because I think you'll think about it a little bit more, and I would like to get to some of the songs that you have today. But thank you so much for your focus and attention. That was excellent. I love where your voices are tonight. Very excited to work with you.
Thank you, Larry.